See who's on tonight. It is Thursday, February 19th. Rainy day. Not such a rainy night. Cold in this little studio of mine. It is cold in here tonight. I'm guessing most people are going to come on in about 5-10 minutes because that's when I normally start. But today I wanted to be on time and try to get done early because it's so cold. So I thought I would try it. There you go. There's 5 or 6 of you already on here. Hey, Jeff. Is it freezing out there? It's getting cold here. Hey, Terry. How you doing? Jeff, you have any fish photos you want me to share with everybody? Text them to me if you want me to share them. Show them your crappie catches. Eric's here. Hello, Eric. Mal's here. Malvin, hello from Northern Cal. And congratulations again on owning your sport boat. Jay and Andrew from, where's this? Jay and Andrew from North Highlands. Shout out to Bella. Hello, Bella. What is Silver say I'm cooking 8-pound trout right now? That's good. Oh, Jeff says it's probably warmer there where he is. It's 70 degrees. Hey Sam, how you doing? Sam, if you're available Saturday, I need extra volunteers. A lot of my core volunteers will not be available to us this Saturday. A bunch of people are busy with family things. So if you're available, I need volunteers for Saturday Kids Club meeting. Terry's doing great. That's good. Hey Jamie, how you doing? Jamie, you're going to be on the boat with me on Sunday, right? So looking forward to that trip. So big pack smokers. It isn't a camping event. It's our kids club meeting. So our kids club meeting will be happening this Saturday at Leg Lake. Starts at 9 a.m. It's over at noon. Hey Alex, how you doing? It's at Leg Lake. Leg Lake, Whittier Narrows. There's a video on my Instagram and here on YouTube that you can see it on. And it's one of the shorts. It has all the information about it. Jamie's looking forward to Sunday, so am I. The Kids Club is this Saturday at Leg Lake, Whittier Narrows at 9 a.m. Yeah, Jamie, if you can come volunteer, we could use the help. Just tell them at the gate that you're a volunteer and they won't charge you for the parking. Okay, Jeff, I got those. Thank you. I think I found an old one too. Silver wants to know, any kids at Lake trout fishing this Saturday? I don't know. I mean, we're probably going to sit out a couple of rods for trout because the last meeting the kids caught a couple, so we'll probably do that. What does 2309 say? I love that place. I grew up fishing there. Okay, cool. Probably Lake. Miguel is from Mexico. Watch your show. Long time, still love fishing. He's in Cancun. So, Miguel, are you watching this right now from Cancun? That's pretty cool. I didn't know I had any viewers in Cancun. All right, yeah, Jamie, come in to the meeting and then you can see what it's like. If it's something you want to do, then we have to help you get live scanned, and then you can do it all the time. But have you come see it. So in 2 weeks you start fishing, Jeff, out here? So Jamie's in the air, that's cool. Hey Philip, how you doing? Okay guys, I have 30 of you on here, but only 10 likes. Can I get 20 more likes, please? It's freezing in here today. In my little studio, it is cold. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Sit back. Just a reminder that today is brought to you in part by Magic Metal Jigs, Boomerang Tools, and B52 Bucktails. Hello, Diane. Who else is here? Any good fishing trips lined up for Redondo Beach? Not for us. We can't find any boats from Redondo Beach that want to work with us. So, and I know the guy that owns the boats too. Owns 2 of the boats. Him and his dad and I went to high school together, but I can't get Jacob to do anything with us. They all think that they're doing everything. They don't need any help. Hey Kevin, how you doing? All right, let's do the show open.
I'm Dan Hernandez and I live to fish.
All right.
I have been fishing along the Pacific coast my entire life.
Oh!
Let me bring you in the action and share with you some great fishing tips along the way.
Who else is here? Hey Robert, how you doing? Hello Charles. John the Tuna Slayer's here. And Diane, what city are you guys in? There's Jimmy. He's in the truck driving and listening to us. But don't watch us if you're driving the truck. Hey Alan, how you doing? What city are you in today, Alan? You're always traveling. Trade show season. Yeah, Monte Carlo's a nice boat. Captain, I've known him for a long time. He does a good job. All the boats, they all try to find you fish and they all try to keep you safe. So any sport boat I would recommend you jump on. But the Monte Carlo is a nice boat. I posted an episode not too long ago of a show we did on there over 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago on that boat. So you can watch it on my YouTube channel. So John, the tuna slayer, caught a nice halibut. 1 inch legal on the native sun last week. That's good. So 6204 says he was with us on the Tornado. We'll be back on the Tornado this year, so please sign up and come join us again. That was an awesome trip. That was fun fishing. Jeff says it's low water out there in Illinois. Yeah, Terry, you're right. They're no longer kids. They're all out of school. I think one of them's in college. I'm not sure the other one's in college too. Oh, you're home. You're in Irvine. That's cool. Then off to Chicago. Trade show season. Surf fishing will probably be fine this weekend. Everything's going to be flattened out and um, things moved around a lot with all the waves and stuff. So, yeah, that might be good. Why not go surf fishing, Jimmy? It looks like it's going to be the last Saturday in March. Not sure if it's the 28th or whatever it is. That last Saturday in March. Stan, I will be up in San Francisco in September. We will be one day, the last weekend in September will be Saturday in Berkeley Marina, and we'll be on a brand new boat that we'll be on up there. And then it's Melvin's boat, he's on here. And then on Saturday we'll be on Melvin's boat. Sunday we'll be on the Seawolf out of Fish Emeryville. So we'll be doing 2 different landings this year. Hey Jeff, when you start running in 3 weeks, I guess, I'm sure you're not going to just come and jump right on the boat, but when you guys start running, are you guys running to Mexico to go fish for rockfish, or what are you guys going to be doing? It's still going to be what, March? So you'll be fishing in March? What, Robert? Hey, Dan, did you get all your gear back? I finally got all my gear back. I just got the reels back last week from Daiwa, but they all got fixed. I haven't even opened up the box yet, so I shouldn't say that they're all there. But I need to go through there and see. Are you on the trip on Sunday, Robert? Or are you just talking about bringing gear to the kids club meeting? 2309, good. If I can help you with info, just ask away. Yeah, so Alan's already training Lance to take over his business. He's already making him work the trade shows. I've done a lot of trade shows in my life. You guys should see all the badges. I have collections of badges. Wonder where I'm going to put them once I get out of the warehouse. Oh, okay, so Jeff will be running for tuna. Be running south. So those first trips, are they all 5-day trips or are they 3-day trips? So I would think in March you got to run pretty far south to catch tuna. So let me put this up here. This is Jeff a while ago. Oh no, this one's recent. No, this is a while ago. This is one of the older pictures you sent me a while ago. Oh, let me put it back up there. When it was cold, there was snow in the photo. Let me see if I can get it in here. So here's Jeff in Illinois catching crappie. And then he just sent me this photo today to share with you guys. And this is what it looks like when it's 70 degrees, I guess. So it's nice to see somebody who gets paid to go catch tuna every day enjoys catching little fishies. Is that like a tube bait you got there? So that's Jeff there. And then here's some of his catch. Some of his crappies. They must taste good because he keeps them. Okay, so Robert isn't on the trip. Grandkid duties. No, I should be okay. Tomorrow I'll go through my through the box that came in and make sure that everything's there. But it's only Catalina chips, so I only plan to take like 2 reels of 25-pound tests, 1 with 20 and 1 with 15. So hope I remember how to cast. It's been so long. Should be fun. So Philip wants to know, do you need to bring extra batteries for an electric reel when you're fishing? I don't know if you need to, but I always do. Sometimes the battery will last the whole day, and I've had the batteries die on me before, so I bring 2 batteries. I know other guys that bring 3 batteries, so I would have at least 2 batteries. But when we get in the shallow waters, when we fish 100, 200 feet of water, I just use the 400 reels without the battery, without the electric reels. But when we're in the deeper waters, yeah, I'll use that. I know. So Jeff says, yeah, that was 132 tube bait. Hey Mike, how you doing? Long time no see. Jeff says that those are one of his favorites, tasty fish. Okay, Johnny has a question. My friends and I are going perch fishing this coming Saturday. What should we? I would say just use a Carolina rig, sliding sinker with a swivel and a leader, a bait holder hook. You can use a grub. You can use ghost shrimp. You can use bloodworms. Any of that kind of stuff works. If you just want to fish artificials, I would say go ahead and just fish the worms. What are they called? Camel worms? The Berkeley Gulfs? I don't think I have any here. I'd share them with you. I have a little tray thing here with some stuff in it, but I don't have any of those. And then stick baits like this are always good to use for the halibut. But you don't want a big bill like this. This is the big bill I use when I fish the breakwater. You want one with this really small bill so it doesn't dive down too deep because you're going to be right in the surf. But the halibut like these. And the big barb perch will eat them too. I know a lot of guys that use crocodiles. So those work out. Those work too. Let's see if I have anything here. Nope. Yeah, the Carolina rig's pretty simple. If you're not sure how to tie that, you can just go right here on my YouTube channel, do a search on surf fishing or rigging for surf fishing, and I have plenty of videos there that you can watch. All my surf fishing episodes have the rigs on there too. So Tim says he uses 3 batteries. That's probably good advice. Hey Kent, how you doing? Yeah, we're pretty much ready for a PCS show. I ordered a bunch of new t-shirts. We have a bunch of t-shirts coming. We're just looking for some good rods to sell in the Youth Foundation booth. If anybody has anybody has nice fishing rods that they're looking to dump or donate, we could use them for our booth for the PCS show. We just don't have enough good quality rods to take to the show, but we would like to do that. So Jeff says Phil Freeman's son caught a nice, got 16. Okay, that's cool. Fishing with MG says what? Yeah, that trip sold in 24 hours. I was totally shocked because sometimes when I'm doing my trips during the year that we're filming, I have trouble filling, some of them out sometimes. But that trip, I don't know if it was because it's the first trip of the year or if it was just because all my social media stuff has been blowing up on TikTok and Instagram. I did a video for this week, this weekend's Kids Fishing Club meeting. Put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, and already it's got 40,000 views. So I was getting really nervous about how many volunteers I'm going to have and how much gear we have. And, we lost a bunch of our volunteers. They got family obligations they got to do, and I totally understand that. I'm very grateful for any volunteer that can show up. But, you get 40,000 views, and you have gear for maybe 60, 80 kids. it gets a little scary. So I know they're not going to all show up, but, we'll probably have at least 50 kids, 40, 50 kids. So could use the volunteers. Yeah, we have one new shirt design that you will see at the show. Johnny. So there's a question here on when is a 2-speed reel required. So 2-speed reels are really never required, but the 2-speed reel, when you have a nice tuna on, is nice. Sometimes I use it for marlin fishing. I'll use the 2-speed, but I learned a long, long time ago not to use the 2-speed like on a wahoo or something like that. That's fast. So the basic rule of using a 2-speed: if the fish is on the surface swimming away from you or just swimming on the surface, do not use a 2-speed because it'll be too slow. The only time I actually press the button on a 2-speed is if I'm at the rail, the fish is right below me, right below my feet, and it's doing circles, it's staying right down there in the bottom in a tight circle. That's when I use the button. That's when I press the button to do 2-speed. So that's kind of, I see Jeff made a comment here. So that's what he's talking about, that they're really only needed for big tuna. Yeah, so that's what Jeff says there. Don't use it for marlin. I've done it a couple times. But for tuna, that's the best time to use it, is when the fish are straight up and down at your feet and you have them straight down there and it's tug of war and you can't get them to move. Press the button and then you slowly bring them up. So that's what I would say. Ken says, I got a couple for you. Missed you at Bass Pro. Okay, yeah, we could use them. Yeah, you know what? What's kind of funny today? I had one or two people on TikTok, adults, ask if they could come to the kids club meeting to learn how to fish, and I had to tell them no. It's a kids club for a reason, just for kids. So if if you're an adult and you want to learn how to fish, like Jeff says, book a private charter with me. Just book a half-day trip. We don't have to just go fishing. We could spend part of the day just tying knots, tying rigs, and going over gear and stuff. So I'd be glad to take you out fishing to do that. So, don't be afraid to do that. Robert, when I see you on Saturday at the kids club meeting, remind me to tell you what a couple of Bass Pro people, well, one particular Bass Pro person told me the other day, reached out to me. They were a little hurt, I'll say that. And I told them I was very disappointed too. So, remind me on Saturday and I'll tell you what happened. What else? Okay, what does Johnny say? Dan got this date and I told her I had a boat. How much would you charge for me to do dinner on the back of the boat? You want to just do it at the dock, tied up at the slip? That's funny. You know what they do have, if you want to do this, right there at Shoreline Marina, right next to, what's the name of the restaurant there? The seafood place? Gladstone's. Right by Gladstone's there's a dock with all these boats tied up. Those boats are actually bed and breakfast rentals. So you can rent the boat, stay on the boat overnight. You could rent one of those and you guys could stay there all night. You can hang out on the boat. So you could do that. So that's one option. My boat is not the size that rich people have. Okay? Rich people have really big boats. And I'll tell you, I used to think I had a nice boat. I mean, I do have a nice boat, but I thought I had a decent sized boat until I belonged to a yacht club in Long Beach, Seal Beach Yacht Club. And I went on one of their cruises, and it was a little cruise. It wasn't even to the island or nothing. It was just to San Pedro, to a yacht club over there where we rented boats and stuff. And we didn't rent boats. I'm sorry. We rented boat slips, and we took our boats over there. And a bunch of club members, probably about 15, 20 boats went over there, tied up for the weekend. It was pretty cool. And I thought I had a nice sized boat till I got there. And my boat, my 34-footer, was one of the smallest boats there. Probably the smallest boat there. Several guys had yachts over 50 feet. I think the biggest one I saw was 55. A lot of 40s. And 45s, 42s. So, yeah, my boat isn't that big. Hey, William, how you doing? Let me see. I saw some questions. Ken made a good comment. Ran a Duffy. Duffy's good. Yeah, no. I'm not, Melvin. We're not doing adult classes during the kids club. It's reason it's called a kids club. We want to get these kids involved in fishing. If an adult wants to learn how to fish, charter me. I'll take them on my boat, and we can spend part of the time going over rigs and casting and all that, and then the rest of it we can go fishing. But yeah, we're not going to cut into the kids' time. And I even had parents ask if they could come bring their gear and fish next to their kid. And I said, no, this isn't adult family time. This is kids time, kids only. I want the person next to the kid fishing to be another kid. And I want to look down the side of the lake and see nothing but kids fishing. I don't want to see adults fishing. If you want to spend time with your kid to go fishing, that's awesome. Take your kid and go fishing. But at our events, the kids club, I really want it to be all kids. What does Robert say? Call me a sissy. But I'm not using my electric reel. No, you don't want to use a 2-speed reel for rock fishing because it's too slow. You'll be there forever and you'll get super tired. Use an electric reel or just use a regular reel, but do not use a 2-speed. It might feel like it's easier, but it takes too long. The parking at Leg Lake is $10. They charge $10 to park at the lake. Okay? $10. Hey, my cousin's on here, full box fishing. Hey, Dylan. He lives up in Northern California. He's a firefighter in Northern California. And he just got into the lure making business. He's got lures now up in Northern Cal. Why don't you tell people your brand and all that so they can find you? What does William say? Hey, Dan. Say hello from San Diego. Says it's cold. It's really windy, bad weather down there. Yeah, it was like that earlier today here. I had lots of weather. But right now when I walked outside, it wasn't bad. Johnny, I thought you were going to tell me that Alamitos Bay where. Yeah, if you don't pay your boat slip, they'll take your boat. And some people just they can't afford the boat slip and they can't afford the boat and they just leave them there. And that's all the boats that you see in the sales that they have when they have their what do they call that? Oh, they raffle them off and stuff. So. Bass Pro Shop in Irvine got robbed a couple days ago? Huh, I didn't know that. Hey Anthony, how you doing? Yeah, I can't imagine what your fuel bill is, Jeff, running that far. Every trip to you is, especially early, it's going to be multiple days. I can't imagine how much fuel you guys burn. Hello, Randy. Oh, Randy. What is the strangest thing you have seen on the water? Probably one of the most unusual is there's a research vessel that when it travels on the water, it's flat like this, like normal boats. And when it's working, it goes like this and submerges. And the one part of the boat stays out of the water and the rest of it is in the water. Seen that a couple times. That's pretty bizarre. This kind of bobs up and down. I've got pictures of it. I should find it for you guys one day. I don't know, bizarre stuff I've seen. You know, I've been on boats that caught on fire, breaking the shaft on my one of my engines, where I was afraid the shaft was going to fall out and the boat might sink. I wouldn't say that was strangest, but that was probably the most scariest. But luckily that didn't happen. But yeah, I don't know if I've seen anything really strange. I've come to the rescue quite a few boats. And not like I saved their life or anything, but boats that were broken down, boats that were adrift for hours and hours out at sea, and we found them. So I've done that a few times. That's always nice. You know, you hope that one day, if it happens to you, the karma thing will kick in and somebody will come find you. But one of the funniest things that ever happened to me, one time I was coming back from Catalina, and I was out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of channel. You couldn't see anything, couldn't see land from either side. And I ran across like a water skiing boat, like an 18, 20 footer, two guys in it. And at the time, Vessel Assist was one of my advertisers. So this was over 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago. I'm running back full speed, and I see this boat out there drift the engine cover off the outboard, and the boat's just drifting out there. See two guys on it. They look comfortable. They're not doing anything. They don't look panicky. But I see a boat out there not running, especially a boat like that that's not fishing, a ski boat. And then I noticed that the cover's off the engine. I ran over there. And what was funny about this situation, when we pulled up to them, I think it was me and Larry, I don't remember if we were filming or it was just me and Larry fishing, pulled up to them, and the gentleman, the captain of the boat, starts yelling out. He goes, "Man, I can't believe they sent you to come get me." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I called Vessel Assist about an hour ago, and they said they'd send somebody out in a while to come get us. But I never thought they would send you." And I said, "No, they didn't send me. I was just coming home from Catalina, and I saw you. So I just want to make sure you guys are okay." So We hung out with them for about 40 minutes and called Coast Guard, and then finally vessels showed up and picked them up. So that was funny. I let live fish go. Okay, so Jeff catches and releases them. That's cool. Yeah, so my cousin Dylan has his fishing gear in his first store up there. It's North Bay Fishing Tackle. What city is that in? Is that San Jose too, or different city? And then I don't know if you guys saw, I don't know if it's true, but I saw something that online that in Monterey, I think one of the landings or some of the boats, a couple of the boats had their fishing license restricted. I don't know if that's a true story or not, but I saw something online about that. If anybody knows anything about that, let me know. Hey Anthony, how you doing? From San Diego. An auction. Yeah, okay, thanks Ken. Alan says first. Yeah, I agree with you, Alan. I'm in my 60s, so I have no problem using an electric reel these days. And now that they're legal and all that, that's fine. Oh, okay, so Kent says that people were walking out with metal detectors and archery kit equipment. Yeah, I don't think in Irvine, the Irvine police are going to let you walk too far away with that. Johnny says, in your 60 years on the water, have you ever... I personally have not come across any of that, Johnny. I have come across boats at night traveling with no lights on them. One was, I don't know, a few hundred feet away from me. And I was pretty paranoid because I was driving at night, heading to the island. I had my radar on, I had all my lights on, and I kept seeing this target get closer and closer, and they had no navigation lights on. And then they finally passed behind me. So, but that's, I've never seen any packages. I've heard of that. I've also heard of the other thing too. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard of people, maybe Jeff can say if this is true or not, but I've heard stories of people finding packages of drugs or cash that Coast Guard or the federal government was had drones up and then follow the people and see if they reported it or not. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's just like stories I've heard. So, but no, I've never found anything. What does James says? Went fishing with you one time, Catalina. Oh, lobster. That's true. So James was with me one time, and I was doing a private charter lobster trip, and my deckhand threw the hoop net in while I was still backing up, and the hoop net got swallowed up by my prop. So as soon as I heard it, I turned it off. I didn't try to put it in reverse like some people would try to do. Just turned it off, and James is right. I took my pants off with my underwear on and jumped into the ocean to try to see if I could get the hoop net off. Yeah, that's probably the most bizarre thing that's probably That must have been scary to all my passengers, and Jimmy was one of them. But yeah, I did do that. That's a true story. I should probably put that in the book I'm working on. That's funny. Yeah, so Jeff is talking about how when they go bluefin tuna fishing, how they can go 300 to 500 feet out of line, but they don't use electric reels. I have seen on some of the TV shows the guys using electric reels commercial tuna fishing. So Alan's talking about a story where they almost ran over a boat. He was on a sport boat. So what does Robert say? Crazy story up here. Abandoned yacht was tied up to the private dock, and the owner of the house was told they were responsible for its disposal. Never heard that one. Henry Ford, hello there. Elda. Hey Elda, how you doing? Another fellow Oiler. Jimmy, Elda went to school with us at Montebello. Oilers forever. I don't know what school her husband went to. Okay, Raul has a question. One question for Saturday. It will be only kids training. So Raul, yes, it's kids only. It's a classroom thing for the first, I'd say, 45 minutes. And then after that, it's probably a good hour between classroom and practice casting. And then after that, the kids get a couple hours to go fishing. So we will be going fishing for a couple hours to go catch bluegill and probably trout. So my cousin says that store is up by Santa Rosa. What is 67 says? First timer here, booking a charter in August with me. That's cool. Yeah, if you guys sign up for private charters at the PCS show, you can get a 10% discount. We're going to offer a 10% discount for private charters. And if you have any questions about rates and all that, we have that on our website. And I'll put the link here so you guys can see that. So there's a link there. So if you'd like to do a private charter with me, there's a link there, and you can see the rates, and then there's dates there that you can pick out and all that too. If you do find that there isn't a date that works for you, please give me a call at the office, and we can try to work something out. What tips do I have for fishing for sheephead? Use shrimp. Use shrimp. Did I say it? Use shrimp. They love shrimp. Yeah, William, you do what you got to do. We were at the island. We were close to the island. Luckily, one of my engines didn't get rope wrapped around the prop, but the second one did. And then after I got out of the water and took a towel and dried off, put my pants back on, put a shirt on, put a jacket on, then I had to drive the boat into Avalon. And luckily, Boat US had a diver working that night, and the guy was able to cut it out for me and all that. And we were able to get back. There was no damage to the boat, so that was nice. Okay, so Jeff says one time that they did find a bale of weed, and he says it is true that they do plant to catch people keeping drugs. Huh. See what else. Let me catch up to all these questions. What reel gear would you recommend for getting? I'm gonna have some basic gear with me on the boat. I like the 400 size level 1 reels. They're made by all the major brands, Daiwa, Kuma, Shimano. They all make them. I like the Daiwa one. I just don't like it to use in my private charters because it doesn't have a clicker. So I use the Kuma ones on my private charters because I like the clicker on the private charter. So I do that. Sergio says, I grew up watching you and now I'm 45. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Yeah, another thing that's important if you're brand new to fishing is to get your bait away from the boat. And for local trips like Catalina and stuff, if all you're comfortable casting with is a spinning rod, then use a spinning rod. I take a spinning rod with me for the 15-pound test line. I can cast with a conventional, but I just use it on the TV show so people will have the confidence to see that they can catch fish like yellowtail and stuff with a spinning rod. So Rob 10 says San Clemente see washed up empty pangas often. Yep. Yes, James, that water was cold. Sergio says, hey Dan, October up in the bay. Sergio, for all my trips up in the bay, we target lingcod and rockfish. We like to go fish the deep water fish around the Fairlawns. And on Melvin's boat, we'll be doing the same thing. And on the Seawolf, we'll be doing the same thing. It's really neat to leave from the back of the bay there, Berkeley, or leave from Emeryville, and go all the way through the bay, go past Alcatraz, go past San Francisco, go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, and then head out in the open ocean, and then get out to the Fairlawns. It takes a few hours to get out that far, and if it was a run from down here, the boats here would make that an overnight trip. They wouldn't do that in a day trip. The boats up north, they run over 20 knots, 25 knots. That's like a Tuesday to them. And even if it's a little lumpy, they run fast. So that's how they do it in one day. And that's why their trips are more expensive. I mean, a one day, what you would consider like a 3/4 day trip, all day trip up there is going to cost you about $250, $240, something like that. And down here it would be, $150, $170 maybe. But $180 like on the Gale Force. But they charge a lot more because they go so much faster, they go so much farther, and they burn a ton of fuel. So that's why they do that. Johnny, when's my next book? Hopefully will be out this year. I've only written a couple of chapters so far. I spent 5 months just finding all the pictures. So I finally got all the pictures together. So now I'm going to start riding it. Do I ever captain? Yes. Ken wants to know, do I ever captain other people's boats? Yes, I've done that a few times, probably about 6 times. People hire me to take them to the island or go local fishing on their boat to show them how to find fish on the meter, how to drop the anchor, and do all that kind of stuff. Okay, what other questions are on here? Yeah, Mike does a lot of half-day fishing, so he's saying raw shrimp. It's really important when you guys buy shrimp to use for bait, especially sheephead, that you do not use peeled shrimp. You don't cook the shrimp. You just want raw shrimp. And I always hear about the small hooks. I don't use a small hook. I use large hooks. We catch a lot of whitefish and sheephead using like a size 1 hook. But I hear a lot of people say use small hooks. Yes, Johnny, I played football. I wasn't a football star, but I did play football and I did play baseball. One year I did basketball too. I think it was my freshman year. But after that, I just stayed with baseball and football. I was much better at baseball than I was at football. Brandon. Yeah, so Brandon Parker's on here. Brandon, send me a picture of your golden trout you caught so I can share. So Brandon's a friend of mine. He's my IT guy for my website. Been a friend for a long, long time. He's helped me for a long time. He knew Larry. He fished with us with Larry. And he didn't want my boat to go to just anybody that wouldn't appreciate it. And we wanted to keep Larry's legacy going and fishing. So Brandon has bought my my little sea squirt, and he's gonna give it a new life. I think it's bad that it's sitting in my driveway and never gets on the water. Brandon has a house up in the Mammoth area and fishes crawly and all that kind of stuff. He's really famous for catching, I don't know if it's the world record or state record, golden trout up in the Sierras. And it was on the cover of Western Outdoor News years ago. But he is the new proud owner of the boat. Thank you. And that will give us room to get a trailer for the Youth Foundation and put it there. What else? Well, Jeff even has a helmet on their boat to help the crew guys when they jump in the water. I've had to jump in the water probably 4 times on my boat for that kind of stuff. That's part of the reason I don't do a lot of lobster trips, because most of the times I've had trouble with lines in my props, it's been at night. I haven't had that problem during the day. Oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Yeah, yeah. Brad is probably our number one shrimp fisherman for the sheephead. Yeah, we've caught albacore out there at the Fairlawns. Captain Mike, thank you very much. Is this Captain Mike, owner of the Pride? That is. Hey guys, we have the owner of the Pride on the boat on the show right now. And we will be doing, it looks like 2 shows with them right now. I have one up on the schedule, And he's going to let me know here probably tomorrow if the second date's going to work. The second date will be a 1.5 day trip, and it looks like it's going to be on a weekend. Be leaving on Friday, fishing all day Saturday, coming back Sunday morning. So he just says right there to all of you, 90% sure that date's going to work. So that's cool. Thank you, Captain Mike. Love to have you as a guest on here, so let me know when you're available. I got a message from him the other day. He was out with family on a family trip. Pico's Auto Salvage. That was a long time ago. When's your trip in the Bay Area? For the last, 15 years, when we go up to the Bay Area, it's always the last weekend of September. So it's going to be the last weekend in September. We will be up in the Bay Area. So that will be the date. Brandon, the picture you sent me, that's the golden trout, the big one? Oh God, where did I put it? So Brandon just sent me a picture of his golden trout. And how big was this monster? So normally when you guys see pictures of golden trout, they're about this big, right? And you have to hike back up there and get them. This is Brandon's fish that he got. That's a golden trout. He's got his backpack on from hiking all the way back there. So if you guys have never seen a golden trout that big, cool. Good night, John. Yeah, Ken, I like using salmon heads for bait, but I know a lot of people like using fresh sardines, live bait, and just cutting it up. All right, Jeff, good night. Yeah, I'm going to say good night to you guys. It's cold out here, so I'm going to get inside and make some dinner. So thank you all for being here. We had a good turnout tonight. I really appreciate it. If any of you are looking... Okay, so Captain Mike says that bonito work really good for lobster trips. He does he's been doing combo lobster trips, I think this year too, on the Pride, where they run out to the islands and they do lobster fishing as part of their trip. Yeah, that's a big golden dorado. I mean, not golden dorado. That's a big golden trout. Big one right there. Oh, one last thing before I say goodbye. Let me see if I can find this guy's picture. Not that one. Not that one. Not him. Not that one. Not that one. Where did it go? Jimmy Garcia today was at Big 5 to get his license. And he ran into a guy who recognized his shirt that he had on. And the guy is a fan of mine and wanted to support the Youth Foundation. Oh, okay. I'll just pop it up here. So, Jimmy, what was this guy's name? If any of you know this gentleman, please tell him I said thank you very much. And Jimmy just dropped off the rods before I went on live today. That's why he was driving when he was on with us earlier. So he saw this guy at the store. He, all he told Jimmy was if he was friends with me, if he could get some rods to me, and he had Jimmy pick out these rods. He told Jimmy, just go find some combos, and I want to buy them and give them to Dan so he can use them for prizes for the kids. And that's what the guy did. Jimmy said the guy just went to the cash register, paid for them right there, gave them to him to bring to us, and Jimmy just brought them to me today. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So whoever you are, sir, thank you very much. And if you guys know who this gentleman is, I'll make his picture bigger. Please tell him I said thank you very much. All right? So it's nice to know there's people out there like that. And all he saw was James' hat that said, I see dead fish. And he reached out to him. So thank you, sir. Yeah, golden trout. I have my head on golden dorado. Golden trout are way different than the other ones. Yeah, if any of you are thinking about going with me to Argentina, there's only 5 spots left for the April trip. Only 5 spots left. So if you want to go with me to Argentina for 8 days and only pay the $2,900, there's only room for 5 more people. 15 people have already signed up. So if you want to go, please call the number on the flyer. We'll have it everywhere. Come join us. What does Nacho say? What are you in need of? I might. Yeah, hooks. We need small hooks, like size 12 bait holder hooks. Normally on a leader. That's what we like to have. And yeah, we could always use the little bobbers. Captain Mike says, how many spots do you still have available? We have probably about that one. That's not so bad because we can take over the whole hotel there. So there's probably room for about 15 or 20 more people to go with us to East Cape, Captain, if you want to join us on that one. And that's always a fun trip. We have a bunch of people. I think we already have about 25 or 30 people signed up on that. And one of the guys that's on here, Jimmy, I think he won it last year. And one day down there, the last day of the tournament, his boat caught 8 billfish in one day. That was pretty remarkable. Yeah, Mike, come join us on that. But if you really want to have any experience, go with me in April to Argentina. You will love that. Catch peacock bass in Brazil, and then in Argentina, we'll be fishing for golden dorado. So it's good. All right, guys. I'll say good night. Thank you all. Thank you for showing up. And again, from my little studio here, good night. Talk to y'all later. What does Nacho say? Are you going to Baja earlier in the year? I will be in Loretto earlier before the other trip, but it's not a group trip or anything. I'm just going with friends fishing. All right. Good night, everybody. If you have any questions, drop me an email. I'll be glad to answer it. Thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.